Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tier 1, Round 15, Round Mexico this evening. I'm your host, King Luckman. As we'll just get the stream up for your eventual comments. There's a couple of the guys are on outlaps already. So, a reserve stepping in tonight. One of the new guys here will be taking us off. Cello 007 Stellato. I'm not too sure what happened there. As he's straight back into the pits, I don't know what happened there. So the first guy on a lap will be Kane, I think. So we're staying on board with Kane here. Obviously your tier 3 champion. Helping out in tier 1 this evening. As you can see, guys, from your normal grid, that we are quite depleted here this evening. As Guy retired, I'm not too sure what happened to him there. Let's see if we can jump on board with Park. As Stuart cleared it up. Stay on board with Kane. He will be the benchmark time, but as you can see, guys, we are a little bit depleted this evening. So it'll be interesting. Obviously, the reserves do always throw a spanner in the works, as Kane is 117.4. His teammate comes across at 118.3. Nerve has invalidated. Your next car will be Valley Little Mo with a 119.3. See what Valley can set. He goes P2 of a 117.5. Dan is on, has run blows of 118.1. Albie has just started his lap and Colby is coming through sector 2. Istanbul with Colby. Sculpey sets a 118 flat. Albie with a 118 flat as well. Dan now coming through the final of sector 2. Here goes Crickets with a 117.4. Close between the two guys at the top. Bruges is your next. No, he's not. Oh, yes, he is on a lap. He will be the next car to set a time. As that McLaren dives out the way for Bruges. Bruges goes quickest with a 117.1. As Colby says, dry quality wet race. Thank you, Colby. Stick on board with Chris Pratt. Well, no, he won't. We'll go back on board with Pink Eye. He will be the next car to set time. As Wookie says, yes, boys. Hello, Wookie. Purple sector 2 for Bruges. That looks like a valid purple sector 2 as well, not just a personal best sector 2. He goes P2 or 117.3. As Chris Pratt goes P2 or 117.2. Just missed out on that one. Nerf or 119.9. He obviously will be looking to improve on that. Juice Santi a 117.9. Let's see what VDV can do. This just looks to be a burner lap. As Pint Size Geezer says, good evening Pint Size. VDV a 118.5. Obviously he is now got his ERS on, so we'll see what happens there. So Duke, or is it Adam? Adam will be the next 2 set of time. Adam will 118.1 on the mediums. We will check the tyres quickly as well. He is the only 2 set of time on the mediums. Duke of 169. Cello jumps in there with 117.2. That's right on board with Dan as he's going out for his second run, it appears. Dan's 2 tenths up on his time at the moment. He's invalidated. Valley is marginally underneath as well. Little Mo is also on a lap, but he has a Alpine that appears in the way. I don't know who that is. That's Albie also on a lap, so that's unfortunate. Bit of time in there for Little Mo. So see what happens here. As Pink Eye's retired in the pits, he thinks he's safe. Albie is 4 tenths over. VDV, Valley, sorry, retired in the pits, I believe, or was it in the pit lane? I don't know. So Albie is going again. VDV retires in the pits. So we'll see what Albie can do. At the moment, it is Nerf and Bark currently going out with T Sammy Guy. I think T Sammy has some sort of ban, maybe. That's why he's still sitting in the pits. No, I'm not too sure why he's still sitting in the pits. Because Albie's invalidated. So Bark is back out. Colby is now back out. Little Mo is now back out as well. So let's see what Bark can do here. after we ride on board with Colby. I didn't realise Colby was going to be before. Colby is a 10th underneath his current personal best. See if he can carry that momentum through Sector 2. This little tight, twisty section, followed by the fast right-hander into the fast sweeping left. Colby is still improving, 2 attempts now. Around the final corner and across the line, Colby goes almost 5 tenths quicker, 1:17.6. Bart crosses the line and goes a 1:17.9. That puts Adam at risk, and he is going back for a run on the mediums, and he is only just marginally in his time, equal to his time through Sector 1. Sorry, I couldn't get my words up. T-Semi has retired, so he will not be setting a lap. Adam is improving, he's 2 attempts better through Sector 2. Adam a 1:17.7, that puts himself P11 currently. Albie is not on a lap. Dan has retired in the pits. Albie's currently a 10th better through Sector 1. Nerf is a 10th over through Sector 2, it's telling me. Let's see what he can set. And he does improve a 1:18.9. That still doesn't move him anywhere. Albie isn't improving either. Albie doesn't improve at all. That's a 1:18.0 for him. And he is currently out of qualifying. So we are losing Valley, Albie, CDR Nerf Pack, T-Semi and Guy. As we just wait for the guys to jump back into their respective pits. Just a second, covering essentially the top 15. So just confirmation then, Duke taking pole with a 1:16.9 in Q1. Bruge P2 of 1:17.1 and Cello P3 of a 1:17.2. Just confirmation we'll be losing then Valley, Albie, Nerf Pack, T-Semi and Guy. Look at that, just a second, covering 16 drivers. Could be an interesting next couple of sessions. So Dan will be the first guy to set a lap in Q2. So we'll stay on board with him for this one. As he decides to let everyone else past, which is fair enough. So we will see who is at the front of that train. I thought it might have been, and it's Kane. So we'll stay on board with him. Everyone up in for the softs. A couple of guys behind might be a bit compromised if they don't back up a little bit as Kane starts his lap. Just see what the benchmark time is for everyone else to start beating. Just trying to figure out who is actually behind Kane so I can jump to them straight after. Cello. As he comes round a little hairpin into the penultimate corner and out of the final corner. He sets a 117.4, Cello a 117 flat, Bark a 118.3, VDV a 118.3 as well. Chris Pat jumps to level 117.9. Dan is the next car and he's a 117.1. Colby is next, a 117.7. Pink Eye will be the next car to set a time. And he sets a 117 exactly. Pink Eye, if you're listening, try and do that again in your lifetime. Dead like that. Good lap from Pink there. Bruge beats it with 116.7. Rumblo 117.7 as well. Little Mo jumps to level 118.4. as that is all the guys I think that have been on laps, unless anyone is improving, which I don't think they all are. So let's stay on board with Duke then. This is his outlap, but he looked pretty quick in Q1. There's a couple comments here. Terriers, what you doing in tier 1? You won't see me bowl pole. That is correct, because you're not going to get pole this week anyway, Terriers. Go and focus on your own stream. Duke for the win, Billy Hendricks. Duke for a 115 high. A high 115. I think that's meant to say. Yeah, let's see what Duke can do. So I actually think, yeah, Juice Santi will be the next two actually set of times, so we'll stay on board with him first and then jump back to Duke. Obviously, Santi, one of our reserves here this evening, making his debut. As he is invalidated. Duke's going to be next then, I think. As Pink Eye retires from the session. Retired in the pits, I believe. He puts himself P5 or 117.3. Adam is going to be next then. As Adam sets a 123.1. Kane is back out and he's not really improving. No, he's not improving. He has a fast moving Ferrari behind him, which I think was Santi, which I was correct. Bark is improving by almost 3/10. Bark does improve massively by 6/10 of 117.7. Adam is 3 seconds underneath his time, but is invalidated. Stay on board with Dan as he's moving fairly slowly, to be fair. Where is he? He's at my eyes. Here he is. He's well over. Let's see if anyone else is on a lap, which I don't think they are. As Dan dives into the pits. Will also do. Yeah, I think he will. So which one of these guys will be first then on our laps? I think it might be Colby. Down into turns 1, followed by 2 and 3 for Colby. Colby is marginally better through sector 1. See what the guys behind are doing. Chris Pat is 2 temps up through sector 1. Romblo is not going to tell me before Colby's through sector 2. Colby is improving. 2.5 temps. Here we go then, as Colby crosses the line, he sets a 1:17.2, 4.5 temps. Better. Puts himself P5. Chris Pat improves by almost 7 temps, that's 1:17.2. Rumley was telling me was better by 2 temps, and that is correct, almost 3 temps. Puts himself P9. Let's see what Adam can do. He's currently in the drop zone as he invalidates. Won't have enough time to get back into the pits. So we'll see what he can do on his next run when he gets round. Duke P2 of a 1:16.8. It's telling me the other has, yeah. Rumbley's out of the way. Dan is improving as well, so let's see what happens between these lot. Let's see what happens with little Mo. He improves by 9 temps, 1:17.9. Only puts himself P10 though. 2 temps clear of the drop zone. Dan is slightly improving. And he does by 3 temps, almost 3.5. Puts himself P3. That's a good lap from Dan there. telling me Santi is 2.5 attempts better, but he still needs to find more. Mimic does improve by 6 attempts, 117.5, but it's not going to be good enough for him. As Santi has retired on track. That's a big no-no here. Bark isn't improving, so that's the last we'll see of Bark as well. Bridge though is improving by 1.5 attempts after sector 1. Isn't after sector 2. Not too much of a worry for him though. So it appears that we are going to be losing let me read this properly. Rumbly, Little Mo, Juju Santi and Bartmandu. So just confirmation then. Bruges taking P1 in Q2 or 116.7. Duke P2 or 116.8, and Dan, good lap there from him, of 116.8. Just confirmation then we will be losing Rumbly, Little Mo, Santi and Bartmandu. Good qualifying session there though. In Q2, just 8 attempts covering 14 drivers yet again. Crazy how close it is here. So just wait for some cars to start coming out on track. So Duke will be the first one to set a lap in Q3. Quite a lot of cars are bunched up together at the moment. And there's VDV, just wants to get on with it. So he will be the benchmark time. Standboard VDV here. So I'm expecting quite a close Q3 session. Just 8 temps covering 14 drivers in Q2, obviously losing Valley in Q1. Through a DNF on track meant we only had 14 in Q2. As VDV at 117 flat, Dan will be the next one to cross the line. His is a 116.8, so good luck from him. Duke at 116.7, Cello at 116.4. Colby at 117.1, Adam at 117.1, Chris Pat at 117.4. As Bruge will be the next, I believe. Yeah. Bruge at 116.4 puts himself P2. Pink Eye will be next. As he comes around the final 2 corners. And he sets a 116.3. Kane Larry will be next. He's well over. So that is everyone 2 set a time. And again, just a second covering the top 9. And only 8 temps covering the top 8. As Dan comes out for his next flying lap. There we go then, as he comes down the long pit straight. Let's see what his sector 1 split is. And he's improving, currently by 2 tenths. Can he keep that momentum going through sector 2 and subsequently onto sector 3? And he can. It's 2.5 tenths now. Let's see if he can gain any more through the next few corners. Tricky little traction zones to get right. Around the final corner he improves by 3 tenths, that's a 1:16.5. Chris Pratt is next and he is almost 2 tenths better off through sector 2. And he does improve, but doesn't move himself anywhere. That's a 1:17.2. Kane Larry has invalidated. Pink Eye is on an outlap. So we're right on board with him. This Pink Eye gets out of the way. I believe Pink's on a burner, as Cello has retired from the session. Doesn't feel like he can improve. See what Kane can do. Now we'll jump straight back on board with Pink. It's looking like a tidy lap from Kane. He sets a 1:16.6, puts himself P5 currently. Pink starts his flying lap. Colby is on a lap as well, so we'll see what he's up to. And he is roughly just slightly over on his time. I didn't see what Pink sector 1 split was, as Colby has invalidated. Bruge, what's his sector 1? He's improving, so Pink needs to improve. And he's not. Burridge is up. Duke is up as well. He just needs to find a little bit more time though. Adam is 6 temps up. So he could have a shout as well. This could be pretty interesting. Duke, P2 of 116.3. Adam, 116.2. He jumped straight in there. That was... wow. Bruges, a 116.1. As I believe that is gonna be your grid order, but wow. What an end to that session that was. Bruges, Adam beating obviously Pink's time, taking provisional pole, and then it was snatched away literally less than 30 seconds later by Adam. Not Adam, sorry, by Bruges. Look at that. 5 attempts covering the top 8, second covering the top 10. As I'm going to take this opportunity to quickly grab a drink. As you can see then, wet race. So we'll see if that dries up. It does look a little bit like it's lightening up in the distance down the end of the pit lane, but we'll see if that's just my eyes playing games. Obviously, wet race don't need to necessarily stop unless it does change to dry conditions. So we'll see what tyres everyone starts on. Whether they're starting full wets or winters. Let's have a little look at the tyres for everyone. Everyone opting for the inters. It'll be interesting to see who has taken the rain into account and put a wet setup on. Or who's thought about qualifying and track position, although around here track position isn't necessarily everything. Strategy usually plays a massive role around Mexico. As the field are nicely bunched up. So I think we'll ride on board with Bridge for the start and then jump to Duke and see what turn 1 is like. As Nerf is our first disqualification. Guy is our second. Five red lights. And away we go. Bridge gets a really good start there. So does Dan. Dan making up a couple of positions there instantly. Everyone seems to have taken the first corner fairly well. And there's just swaps and changes all over the grid. Dan now fighting Pink Eye for P2. It's allowing Bruges to just drive off a little bit here as Dan is up to P2. Gets the move done on Pink. Cello having a little look at Adam, but thinks better of it. As we've got some fighting going on in the background. So Bruges already 1.5 seconds in front of Dan. As Cello goes a little bit wide there. Rumbelow and Little Mo having a little scrap. Little Mo dropping down the order. Wonder whether he's got damage. Unless he's just struggling a little bit. Pink has made it pass back through on Dan as that looked like Cello having a little look at Adam. Colby also having a look at Duke, Valley, Santi, Rumbelow and Rumbelow, Santi, Valley and BDV all having a little battle between themselves. It's hard to try and figure out what was going on there, which driver was which. Pink now starting to pull that back on the bridge. Dan's staying with them both though. Valley and VDV and Santi's still having a little scrap. VDV is having a go at Santi, trying to go around the outside, which turns into the inside. Just gets his nose cut off a little bit there. So Pink is back within a second and has dropped Dan by 1.6. Dan with a gap back to Adam, who's now coming under pressure from Cello. Adam now getting involved with Duke as well. Duke and Cello are both passed. Colby probably sensing a little bit of vulnerability now from Adam after being passed by two cars in the same sequence of corners. So let's see what Pink can do. Fairly similar amounts of ERS. Chris, Pat and Kane were having a little look at one another there. Pink is now right on the gearbox of Bridge. Pink also sets the fastest lap of 128.6 in his pursuit of Bridge. Gap has opened up just slightly. As Chris Pat is now having another little look at Kane Lowry. Kane leaving space on the inside. Still, no, Chris gets the move done, which has opened the door to a run blow as he takes to the grass that appeared there. So let's stay on board with Kane and see if he can get the move done. Let's see if Kane can repass him then. Doesn't appear like he's gonna. Valley all over the back of Rumbler as well. T Sammy chucks it down the inside of Park, but manages to keep the position. To arrive back on board with your leaders, and they've sort of built a bit of a gap back to Dan. Dan is what I would probably class as is no man's land at the moment, sort of no one really around him, and just take care of himself. But it looks like it has stopped raining, so we'll see if that starts to play a factor into this race. Track's definitely improving. Pink a 1:28.3 is another fastest lap. Duke getting right up close and personal to Cello. These two have also built a bit of a gap back to Adam. This gap starting to form all over the field now. Guy has opted for the hard tyres. That's interesting. And he is dropping a heck of a time, so it is too early. Way too early for slicks. As Pink just had a little bit of a moment there. Bruges then with the fastest lap now, 1:27.7, so the track is definitely improving. Though I don't think we are far away from around the pit stops on slicks. As Duke is now having a look at his teammate. Thinks better of it again. Yeah, Guy is just dropping further and further back. So that track definitely isn't ready yet for slicks. Chris Pat getting close to Colby in the background I saw. He certainly is getting close. So we have a spin up. And that is Duke. Duke seems to have had a spin. Luckily no issues there, let's just make sure. Yeah, no problem there for Duke, no problems for the cars behind, it's unfortunate for him. But that has opened up a massive gap now between the top six. Chris Pat coming under attack from Valley. Valley gets the move done. Chris Pat thinking about it, back round the outside as DRS is enabled. So let's see who starts pitting for slicks. That now gives Pink Eye DRS on this next straight, so we'll see if he can get the move done a bit easier with the assistance of DRS. Albie now onto the hards as well. So we'll see what the gap does. Pink Eye pulls the plug in. He goes early. Dan is in. Let's see what Cello does. Cello stays out. Adam stays out. It's Colby. Colby is in. Valley stays out. Pink and Dan going for the mediums. So let's see if this was the right lap for them guys. Colby going for the mediums. Kane for the mediums. Santi mediums. Little Mo softs. Will the mediums go 26 laps though? As Pink is sort of getting a little bit held up here behind VDV. Gets the move done in the end. So let's see. Bruges is coming around the final corner. And he is into the pits. So let's see where Pink is. Pink's now coming around the final couple of corners, but he has quite a bit of traffic ahead of him. Let's see where Bruges comes out. Bruges is not. Bruges got the hards on. That's a big undercut from Pink. Pink made the right decision. Is Dan going to get him as well? Then Dan has got Bruges as well. I wonder whether Bruges may have had a wing change. Maybe not. No, the track is definitely perfect now. Look, Dan's called the right strategy called along with Pink going for the mediums. Bruges, biggest loser in that round of pit stops then, all the way P1 down to P3. Albie 1:23.6, fastest lap now. Let's see. No one with penalties so far, which is nice to see. Position changes, Valley up 7, Dan up 4, mega restart for him. Mega start, sorry, for him. Colby up 3, Valley, Pink Eye up 2. The biggest loser so far is Duke down 9. That little spin, which is unfortunate. Pink then a 1:22.5, Dan a 1:22.4. Adam opting to go for the softer tyres, so that will definitely require another pit stop. Be interesting to see how long these mediums are going to last though. It's Colby now having a look at the back of Cello. Gets the move done nice and easy on the soft compounded tyre. Let's see whether Cello will come back at him in this next DRS straight. Obviously doesn't. So here we go then. Valley is looking to line up a move on Kane. Pulls to the inside and gets the move done, but Kane fights it back. Good little battle from them guys. Chris Pat and Kane now having a little fight. Chris Pat around the outside. As we have a caution, set to 3, what's going on there? Oh, Pink's had a accident, I don't know what's happened, but he's dropped down to P1, and your race leader now is Mr. Dan. So let's see how this plays out now. Unfortunate for Pink, obviously building quite a nice gap up the top there. Now he's dropped a few positions. Let's see how he reacts. It's going to be a bit of a recovery drive from him to get back up to P1. Colby pushing Cello through. Cello still 95% ERS though. As Pink Eye has crashed, but I can't see where. It was off the fast left right. As Guy picks up a speed in the pit lane penalty, and that brings out your safety car. But yeah, that was the fast right left-handers. Piers is just spun into the wall. Cello gets a drive through, Romblo gets a drive through. I'm not too sure what they were for. And I'm as interested as you guys as to what they were for, so let's have a little look. I don't want to know about all that. Let me just... Speeding under safety car, so they got caught out by their deltas. Nerf picks up 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane, along with obviously Guy. That's unfortunate for Cello, but that opens the door. Bart gets speeding under the safety car as well, so that's 3 guys now with drive-through penalties to serve. So a couple of the guys opted in to take a pit stop out of that. Adam took a pit stop. Dan took a pit stop, so did Cole Pete. VDB, Little Mo, Duke, Romblo, Santi. Romblo gets 5 seconds speed in the pits and retires from the session. And Albie all took the option as well to pit under this safety car. So I'd imagine the safety car is going to be out one more lap just to allow Guy to catch back up to the pack. Oh, Cello has had a little bit of a moment there. Not sure what happened there, but Cello has dropped from P2 down to P6. So if I'm honest, Adam Lindbergh looks like he is in a pretty good position on the freshest hards out of them all. The guys ahead obviously being on their tyres a little bit longer than he has his. He'll definitely be able to get to the end, I would imagine, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully the safety car will come in this lap, as Guy is now pretty much caught up to the back of the pack. The safety car come in. Yeah. Alright, so let's see what sort of restart Bruges can get. Bruges back in the pack up quite nicely. Bruges decides to go. Looks like Chris Pratt, Valley and Bruges got the jump on Kane Lowry. As that ghosted Mercedes. Ghosted Mercedes, is that? Ah, that's Guy being lapped. Okay, that makes sense. I thought he had unlapped himself. So Bruges doesn't appear to have got the jump on Valley or Chris here. They're still staying firmly with him, although obviously the other two are on softer compounder tyres, and their tyres are probably starting to get into their prime. Whereas obviously the hards are going to take a little bit longer to come through. Dan getting close to Cello as he picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. As Adam is also looking all over the back of Kane. Dan now pretty close to Cello. And that is that move done. Nice and clean from Dan. Good racing from them two guys. Little Mo picks up 3-second time penalty. Santi, T Sammy and Albie all having a little scrap. Adam is all over the back of Kane. Bridge now drops. Hold on, who's that? We've lost someone in sector 2. Bridge has dropped the 2 guys behind him as DRS is enabled. As VDV is having a look at Colby. Gets it done. Dan gets the move done as well on Kane. Excuse me. Colby's down with VDV. So this little battle for 4th is heating up quite nicely. Obviously, Adam, Dan, VDV, Colby and Duke have the fresher tyres out of the rest of the guys ahead of them. VDV picks up 3 seconds for time penalties. 4 time penalties, a 3-second time penalty, 4 track limits is what I meant to say. Albie picks up 3 seconds for corner cutting. As we have a yellow flag in sector 3, what happened there? T Sammy going a bit slowly. Dan just thinks better of it into turn 1. Probably now going to have a look into what do you call as turn 5? Turn 4? Can't get it done there either. So we'll have another go at the next DRS straight. Chris Pat is back within DRS of Valley, but is now outside it. So that's going to leave him vulnerable to Adam Lindbergh. As I say that, Chris has picked up 3 seconds worth of track limit penalties. So we'll see if Adam can get this move done fairly easily. And he does. And that allows Dan to come back through as well. Dan's now having a go at Adam and appears to have got the move done nice and easily. So Dan will now be setting after Valley. That will be quite an interesting battle to watch, hopefully, between them two guys. And Dan is taking chunks out of Valley at every traction zone. So does Dan get it done into turn 1 or turn 4? That is the question. I think he pushes for turn 1. Let's see if I'm right then. Let's see if he is going to make it into turn 1. Although value appears to be a little bit too far away. As that now opens the door to Adam on Dan, but can't get it done. Dan thought about it, but wanted the move to be done a lot cleaner than maybe what he thought he could get it done by. Sensible. There's not too many battles across the field again, there's just gaps forming. Obviously different strategies taking a hold of the race now. I will start checking fuel lights in a minute as well, making sure no one's got their fuel light on. With a wet race, you can understand why people thought it might be a good idea to underfuel. As Valley decides to pit then, off 13 lap older mediums. Adam now making a move on Dan, gets the move done. VDB now having a little look at Dan as well, but it's a bit too far back at the moment. We do appear to be gaining on Bruges as well. Around here as well, quite a high deck track. I'd expect Bruges tyres to not be feeling worse for wear, but not exactly starting to feel nice either. Four laps difference here is pretty big, with obviously the heavy traction zones, heavy fast change of directions. Dan seems to be a lot closer on Adam this time around on this lap. And appears to be saving a little bit more battery than he has been for the majority of this race. Adam's still on obviously 60%. Let's see if he can get it done. He is a hell of a lot closer this time around. Snaking into the slipstream. Adam has used a little bit of battery. Dan can't quite get it done. The gap from Adam to Bruges is just slightly starting to stagnate. It is bouncing all the time. As I say that, he's gained another tenth. Lost a tenth. Gained a tenth. Lost a tenth. So it is bouncing around. Cello has had an accident. Appears to have lost it at turn 3. And that deploys the virtual. Let's see what Bruges does then. Does he pit? Does he stay out? The virtual's out, but I can see a yellow dot. I think this is going to be turned into a fault. As Chris Pratt gets a drive-through penalty of speeding under the safety car. Adam's in, Dan is in, everyone appears to be pitting now. What tyres does everyone go on? Bruges on the mediums, Dan onto the softs, VDV mediums, Adam softs. Adam has managed to jump Bruges in the pits. Hell of a pit stop from Adam there. Jumps Bruges. Bruges was 3 seconds ahead as well, almost 3 seconds ahead when that's virtual come out, which is now full course safety car. Hopefully it will only be out for 1 lap and then we can get back racing again. Not sure obviously what happened with Cello, but like I said, it appears to be an incident at turn 3. I was just waiting for the guys to form back up then. As Chris Pratt has decided to retire in the pits, it seems. And he was actually sitting in the points. So safety car is going to stay out for 1 more lap while we just let T Sammy catch back up, it looks like. So the safety car in this lap message is up. So let's see what sort of restart Adam can get on them fresh softs. Most of the guys opt in for fresh softs. As Valley gets a good restart here. Dan coming under a little bit of pressure. Nerf well back on them old hard tyres. Dan will be looking to get past Bridge as quickly as possible before his tyres do start to go off, as Kane and Nerf are having a little battle. Good driving from them two guys there. Let's see then. Bridge is fairly close to the back of Adam. Obviously DRS won't be enabled for a couple of laps as Guy has retired, and that brings out another safety car. Guy just seemed to have lost it after the S's onto the DRS straight. It's unfortunate for him as Nerf picks up a drive through, speeding under safety car. Which I don't really know why the safety car was needed, to be fair, with the field so close together. And the incident being cleared before they'd even passed the start-finish straight. So I would imagine it's going to stay out for one more lap. I can't see it coming straight out and then coming straight back in again. And I'm correct, it's going to stay out for one more lap, which is pretty pointless. That could have been solved with a virtual. So we'll see what happens. Nice to see that most of the safety cars have actually just been caused by what appears to be driver error more than an actual incident, as T Sammy is in the pits for a fresh set of softs. So he now has the freshest tyres out of everyone. So I'd imagine now with the safety car, it has played into Adam and Dan's hands a little bit more. They don't have to use their tyres as much to defend and attack, etc. as the safety car is in this lap. As Adam decides to go early. There we go then. It doesn't appear to have got the jump on Bruge. As little Mo is having a little go at Nerf Pack. Chucks it down the inside, Nerf fights him for it. Just doesn't have the tyres. Oh, as he has a little incident there, just loses the rear end. Collides unfortunately with Jude. Wow, what was that about? Didn't appear like he had any sort of interaction with the brake, if I'm totally honest. I won't comment on that. It's unfortunate, obviously nothing Nerf could have done there. He just had a little bit of a wobble on the rear end and unfortunately collided. But that's now Santi out of the race. Pretty sure someone else got collected in that as well. And we're back green. Bruge and Adam appear to have got the jump a little bit on Dan there. Dan just dropping slightly into the reach of VDV behind. So let's see how the last two laps play out. Obviously penalties are going to play a little bit of a factor here. Dan with 3 and VDV with 3, so Colby just needs to stay within 3 seconds of them both and he picks up a podium. Obviously position changes, Valley's still up 8, Albi 7, T Sammy 6. Gap just at 2 seconds at the moment. Well, 2.5 seconds back from Colby to Dan. But Bruge is now all over the back of Adam. So here we go then, on to the final lap of the race. gap from Dan and Colby is now 3 seconds, so if Dan can hold this sort of pace, he is going to keep the podium. Having said that, VDB is now past him and has slightly more ERS, as Bruge is now past Adam as well. As Duke makes it past Colby. See what happens between Bruge and Dan for this final podium position. Don't think Adams can mount a challenge on Bruge. It doesn't appear to be the case. So let's see if Dan can make a move into the final couple of corners, but it doesn't appear to be the case either. And it looks as if Duke is going to catch them both up and steal that final P3 position. So there you go then, Bruge taking P1, Adam P2, Duke takes P3 in the end from VDV and Dan. Colby finishing in P6, Valley P7, Kane P8, Little Mo P9, Bartmandu P10, T Sammy P11, Albi P12 and Nerf Pack rounding out the finishers in P13. Fairly clean race from my perspective, as I will just invite the podium sitters to the party as Nerf rounds the final corner. Good to see from Nerf as well, finishes the race. Let's get your podium sitters into the chat quickly before I get the race results. So just confirmation there then. Bruge taking the win and the fastest lap of 1:17.9. Adam P2, Duke P3, VDV P4, Dan P5, Colby P6, Valley P7, Kane Lowry P8, Little Mo P9, Bartmandu P10, T Sammy P11, Albi P12, Nerf P13, rounding out your finishers. With DNFs from Santi, Guy, Chris Pat, Cello, Rumbo and Pink Eye. So we will just invite your podium sitters in again. See if they will join us for interview. Still mentioned the Valley there, obviously up 8 positions. It's a fairly solid drive from him. It's good to see. As Duke has joined us, so we'll just wait to see if the other two do join us or not.
Oh, okay.
Which doesn't appear to be the case. So I think we'll get started then. Duke, obviously Q1, Q2, Q3, all throughout qualifying showed real good pace.
Yeah.
How were you set up for the race? Were you set up for the wet race, or did you stick a dry qualifying set up in?
The thing is, I actually put a dry setup, but I was running quite high wings. So I was very quick in sector 2 and 3. But I was losing a lot of time on the streets. But I think I qualified P4, so it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I wasn't far off pole.
Yeah, obviously, I think someone even on stream mentioned that they thought you may have got pole with a high, obviously 15. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I was a bit after obviously qualifying. I was a bit there. That was a bit out of reach. But obviously, from your perspective, how did you see that race play it to dry up so quickly as it did?
Um, I think once the race started, yeah, and I looked at the screen, it looked like we are going to do half of the race wet, and then maybe probably the remaining half of the race dry. But then it turned out as immediately the race started, I asked my engineer, and it was like 5 to 10 minutes of this rain, and I was like, okay, this isn't going to last for long. But then I think for the first 5 or so laps, I was behind my teammates, and I couldn't get past, and I was getting impatient because I could see I was quicker in sector 2 and 3, but he had a lot of straight line speed, and then I spun while chasing him. So I didn't expect to finish on the podium, but I guess the safety cars brought me back in play.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, a couple of the guys in good positions. Obviously, Pink Eye spun as well from the lead at one
Yeah,
point. So it's a pretty weird race in that respect. But that's a hell of a recovery drive from you to obviously get back up to the podium. With obviously the guys ahead with penalties, was that all your focus? Is just making sure you were within that 3 seconds?
exactly. And the thing is, I actually had 2 warnings from lap 5. So I just had to keep it within the white lines from lap 5. That was like 31 laps of not exceeding track limit. So the safety cars quite helped because I didn't push for some laps. So I think maybe that's what helped me stay within the white lines as well.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, it's nice to speak to you. I'm not normally a guy in obviously tier one on the stream, but it's nice to speak to someone different. So, well done this evening,
It's nice to
Duke.
speak to you too. Thank
That's
you.
that's a great performance, bud. And hopefully, I'll speak to you some more over the coming seasons.
Yeah, looking forward to it next season.
As
Okay.
Bruce has joined us, thank you, buddy. Take care. Have a good evening.
And you too.
As your P1, your race winner has joined us. Good evening, Bruce. How are you? Wow, you made that look fairly easy in the end. Showed some good pace. Talk us through it. Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's you had pace the whole race. It looked like good little battle to begin with between you, Dan, and Pink Eye, and then obviously just you and Pink Eye. When obviously you saw Pink Eye spin, did you think obviously maybe the win would be a little bit easier for you until the safety cars come out? Yeah, yeah, definitely, and obviously the safety cars playing a bit of a factor into this race, as you say. Um, what did at any time did you think that it was ever in doubt, that the win was ever in doubt? So talk me through when Adam jumped you in the pit. Was that just a bit of a slow pit stop from yourself, or did you need a wing change, or because? Yeah, it definitely looked like that on stream. Obviously, a little bit of a late exit from the pit box. But yeah, obviously, good qualifying from you. Excellent race pace this evening. It's nice to obviously speak to someone different. So congratulations on the race win. Yeah, definitely. It's always nice to end on a bit of a high like that, and especially after the drive that both you and Duke had. It's nice to see. Thank you for joining me, gents. Have a lovely evening. And thank you to everyone that tuned into the stream this evening. That is the end of Season 8, Tier 1. Obviously, that was round 15 at Mexico. We do have one more race in CDR, which is on Sunday at the earlier time of 6 British summertime. So hopefully you can join us for that. If not, we will hopefully see you next season for season 9. This is King Luckman over and out.